Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are Talk.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
Talk Radio.
Thank you, Michaels, the two Michaels. Busy show this evening. Boy, oh boy, fingers crossed, touch wood, we're going to have Mike Love of the Beach Boys live on this show. Fingers crossed. This is Talk Radio, and this is the news at 10.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The Beach Boys, guys. That's the Beach Boys. Mike Love from the Beach Boys on this show later on. Now, we don't have a phone number. You shut up now. We don't have a phone number for him. He's going to be calling us. So he might sound like Alan Caddick. No, we really have got Mike Love of the Beach Boys, hopefully calling in at some point. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Now, I'm going to go in deep. I want to go in deep with Love. But I'm fully aware that he might not want to go deep and he might just want to talk about Surfing USA. That's fine as well. We'll see. We'll ride the Love vibe and we will see how it goes. Thank you to the two Michaels. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Things change ever so slightly now as you can call in about anything you want. Literally anything you want. You want to talk about the Beach Boys? You're more than welcome to. I will have none of this naysaying of Love. I'm not going to have any of that. I tweeted it was coming on already. People go, yeah, but he's an arse. Delete your account. Delete your account. So I was arguing with some bloke. I wasn't arguing, but this bloke was going, yeah, he's a horrible man, trust me. I said, when did you meet him? He said, I didn't, I just read it. Right, exactly. Delete your account. So I don't any of... And I'm gonna ride the vibe, and I'm gonna ask him how he feels being the villain of the piece. How he feels being portrayed as the villain of the piece. I mean, it may be a very... I'll save that question for towards the end, just in case he, does a Peter talk and pretends he can't hear me. But you can call in about anything that you want, on this show. Anything you want at all. I don't mind. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. There is no agenda. We don't really kind of sit and give you bits and pieces to talk about. It's kind of quite freeform, really. And I know that some of you find that uncomfortable. Well, tough. Tough luck. I do want to remind you of one thing. This is actually going to happen now. We mentioned this briefly towards the end of the show yesterday. Right at the end of the show yesterday, when Jim the Dancer called in, who's a guy that used to call me years and years ago, go on YouTube and look him up. He's given me a brilliant idea. And it is a brilliant idea. I don't think particularly egotistical to say that. It is actually a brilliant idea. We are going to do a talent ring. You guys, some of you might remember when I used to do Set the Agenda years and years ago, which was like a variety night, and I'd get in all these acts, and it was groovy and stuff. We're going to do something like that. I'm ever slightly torn. It might be towards the end of October, or it might be nearer Christmas. I don't know. At the moment, I'm thinking towards the end of October, and it will be like a variety night. But it will be you guys, dear listener, providing the talent. And me and Kath will host it and compare it and stuff like that. And we might show, some short films and stuff. And I might see if Pete Heat fancies coming and doing a bit of magic and stuff. But ideally, it would be you lot doing turns. And it can be literally anything that you want. Literally anything that you want to do. I don't want too many blokes standing there with acoustic guitars singing songs about their first girlfriends. And I say that with love and respect. But one or two of those would be perfect. And lots of you have been emailing me already. There's no audition process. I don't need to hear you or see you or know how many gigs you've played and stuff like that. Just that you want to do it. And that's it, really. And that is it. And I think we can make an evening out of that. The audience has a part to play, and the audience has to come, it will be, a very relaxed, 0844 499 1000, by the way, if you want to call in. It'll be a very relaxed evening, it's not like a talent show where it's a competition and there'll be a winner and, some of you will get gonged off. There's none of that. It will be, some people coming to watch, some people, who want to perform. And that's it. And if you come up and you're not very good, well, it don't matter, does it? There's only 10 minutes of your life. It's only 10 minutes of your life, and if everybody's not that good, it don't matter. It's only 10 minutes of your lives. We will have created, the plan is to try and create a safe environment, guys, where anybody can, who feels the urge can come and sing a song or do a dance. And it can be literally anything. Juggling, magic, contortionism, playing the flute, playing the harp, showing like a sort of 3-minute film that you made, cooking. If someone wants to come on and do like a recipe and stuff, brilliant. It can be literally anything you want. Now, this will only work if you lot decide that you want to come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. And I've had about 5 people get in touch today, and that's brilliant. We're going to need quite a bit more than that for it to work. I don't quite know what we need in terms of numbers and stuff, but we'll need quite a few. So, have a think about it, and send me an email, Iain, IAIN, at iainlee.com, and, just, jot down kind of what you think, what you're thinking of trying out. We'll get Jim the Dancer along to do a couple of dances and stuff. That's always a treat to watch Jim plying his trade. And it can be literally anything. If someone wants to stand there for 10 minutes and say nothing, you could literally come and do that. That's actually not a bad idea for an act, is it? Just standing there for 10 minutes and saying nothing. So that will happen, but it needs more of you to get in touch and say, yeah, I think I want to have a crack at this, please. Right? So, I mean, this really is kind of an experiment to see whether anybody is interested. And it doesn't matter if no one comes, really. I'm sure some people will want to come, and have a good night out, seeing something a little bit experimental. But I need more acts. I need acts. I need you to get in touch and say you want to do it. And I'm saying you know, you can be a bit ropey if you're good as well. You know, if you're a good act. If you are a brilliant singer or you're a little band or something, then that is, you know, there are, and I may regret saying this, you know, 9:30 on that Sunday night, but there are, at the moment, there are no boundaries as to what the performance may be. There are no limits as to what you can get up on stage and do. I'm just sort of a really good act as well, actually. Here's a great idea for an act, right? And someone could do this. I'm just giving this out. Because none of you want to phone in, and that's groovy. 0844 499 1000. Here's an act, right? Because we've got Skype there, which can be projected onto the big screen, right? So how about someone just FaceTimed us from outside the venue, but they did their act outside the venue, and the audience could decide whether they wanted to go outside and watch it, or whether they wanted to stay inside and watch it on the screen. That's actually quite, isn't it? Isn't it? FaceTime busking, says Jamie on Periscope. Exactly. It can be anything. We've got Wi-Fi there, we've got a screen, we've got a projector. And the venue's in London, right? Same when we did Film Ringing. It's limitless. It's limitless. But it's up to you as to whether this goes ahead or not. It's really dependent on whether you know, enough people want to put up an act. And I've got people on Periscope going, I haven't got any talent. You don't need it. It's not a talent show, and I might not call it Talent Ring, because that kind of, performance ring or something, I don't know, but putting the word talent in kind of gives it, I think, a slightly competitive edge, and there is no competitive edge, you know. There is no, there is no competition or in this. It's just people coming up and showing off. Have a think about it, and let me know. Send me an email, Iain, Iain, @iainlee.com, and we'll have a chat. Right. On with the show, huh? 0844 499 1000. We call you back. Paul, come to you after this.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We call you back. Paul's on the line. Good evening, Paul.
Ahoy, ahoy, Iain. How are you?
I see. An infiltrator from the other side. That's okay. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Or some flattery, if you like.
Well, but you're very kind. Thank you, mate. What you got for us, boss?
No, well, it's sort of related to that, really. I tweeted earlier about how I'm listening to your shows on catch-up because I can't stay up late enough to listen to the whole show.
Okay.
And, honest to God, you're the best show around at the moment. I listen whenever I can. I listened all the way. I travelled up from the south to the north today. I spent the whole day listening to you and ended up with Angelos's Cosmic Muck thing.
I'm sorry about that. That Angelos slipped through the net. That shouldn't have been part of the podcast, and I can only apologise.
Yeah, no, it was terrible to listen to as well, I can assure you.
Oh, well, you're very kind, man. I appreciate that, and with that greeting as well, then thank you very much indeed. I appreciate it.
And do you know, I've got that delay thing in the ear. You know, the thing you say confuses you. I've got that happening now.
Hang on. You shouldn't have that on a telephone call. That should only be if I were to play you some music or something.
I agree.
How do we? But how bad is it?
It's bad enough that I mention it, but probably not so bad that I can't get over it.
Well, do you want us to call you back? Do you want us to call you back?
No, it's all right. No, because no, it's fine because it took me enough. I'm quite a nervous person, so it took me enough to do this anyway. So
you put the phone down and you'd bottle it when the phone rang. I understand that. All right, well, we'll work through it then. Go on, Paul.
There you go. Still lost the train of thought now. So as I was saying on the tweets earlier, you quite often refer to, you don't know where you're going with this show, you know what you're doing, and you're nervous, and you're not sure this is the right thing. Should you do, what was your favourite sweets from the 70s and that?
I retweeted you, didn't I?
You did.
You said something that I remember exactly. You said something that that resonated with me. You said, "Are you a Danny Baker or a Noel Edmonds?" Well, yeah. The thing is, Paul. Right. Let's have this chat. Let's have this chat because
I'd love to.
You're a radio geek. I'm making up like I am, and that's not an insult in any way. That's being frank.
No. I wish I was, but I don't consider myself that knowledgeable. But yeah,
well, I'll take
that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it is a compliment. I don't think you necessarily have to be knowledgeable, but you know what you like, and you listen to the radio. You actually listen to the radio as opposed to having it on in the background, which I think a lot of people do.
It's all I listen to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I do wonder, because we're sat here, and there's only you and Jennifer, who we'll go to in a minute, that have called in, right? So there's no calls. And the listening figures ain't great for this show, I'll be completely honest. And we get loads online, and we get loads on Periscope, and we get loads of downloads for the podcast. But the actual, the way they measure the listening figures with their Radar diaries, which is a terribly old-fashioned, flawed system, the figures ain't great. And there's only so long you can keep going with figures that ain't great. And I'm aware that this show, me and Kath and Ed, this show is, the way we're doing it now, it's always going to be on the fringe. I'm always going to be a fringe performer, whether it be on television or whether it be on radio. And I need to work out if I'm happy with that, and the job uncertainty and the pay uncertainty that brings.
Yeah.
Now, the boss is here. The boss is here, by the way, and this is not in any way a diss against them. They support me 100%. They love it, and they keep saying, push it real good.
Because they know what they've got. That's the truth.
But I'm also aware, and Denny is, my boss, and he's brilliant. I love him, and he gives me so much freedom. More freedom than I've had in a long time. I'm also aware that Murdoch takes over this month. And I don't know, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? So,
In truth, if I can interrupt, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go on.
In truth, if Murdoch takes over, that's only going to serve you well in terms of listeners, I'd have thought, because it doesn't do him any good for you to sit here talk to me every night.
Yeah.
If I ring and can get through to you every night, that's no good to him. But at the moment, and just to bring back to tonight, I thought, do you know what, I tweeted that and you retweeted that. I thought, that's great. I really meant what I said. I thought, I'll follow it up with, I'll ring you up and I'll say what I think. I couldn't find your phone number. I can't find it.
Is it not on the website?
I can't find you. It probably is, but it's not easy to find.
No.
I can find your app on my phone.
Yeah.
I can't find it on my iPad.
Yeah.
So maybe the Murdochization of it will be good and bad in equal measure.
Yeah, it could be. Do you know what? I've gone to the front page of the website, and you're right, the phone number's not on there. Can we get a message to the bosses, please? Put the phone number on the front page of the website, for crying out loud. Well, I was doing an interview today for a community radio station, and I'd agreed to, a lovely bloke called Iain, and I agreed to it ages ago, right? It was for 11:30 this morning, right? I woke up at 10 to 12. And I'd forgotten all about it, and I turned on my phone, and there are these frantic yet very, very polite messages going, Iain, just wonder if you were still available to do... Oh, bloody hell, I was 20 minutes late. And I was so apologetic, and they were so polite, much more professional than I will ever be in my life. And we had this lovely interview, and it's going to be on, I think it's Froome FM, and I'll let you know when it goes out. But...
Yeah, do.
I said to Iain, who was interviewing me, it always makes me uncomfortable when there are two Ians talking, because it's such a naff name. And I said to him, right now, I am doing the radio show that I want to listen to. All the other stations...
Absolutely.
All the other stations, I've had elements of the radio show I wanted to listen to. And at BBC Three Counties, which is where I was before this, it was the least like the show I would want to listen to, but the most like it within the constraints they gave me. But this is the show I'd want to listen to, if I could. And that's all I can do, really, if I'm being true to myself.
Do you know the issues I have at home now? Because I have a lovely house, it's very nice, but there's not many walls in the way. So I've now started staying up late to listen to you.
Yeah.
That's an issue, because I don't want to go to bed anymore when my better half goes to bed, and then also the noise creeps through. We don't live in a small house, but it's an issue. But this is what I crave. Danny Baker, you. The stuff, and this is where the crossover now happens. The stuff that's going on with Richard Herring, with Angelos, with Barry from Watford. Yeah. It's all out on podcasts. I don't wish to be rude. You are the future, and somewhere between what you're doing now on the radio, which you consider unpopular because it hasn't got millions of listeners, and what they're doing, that's where it's going. You are the future, baby.
Paul, you have left me blushing, and I'm going to be honest, slightly aroused. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. What do you mean you've not got many walls? That's left us all scratching our head.
I probably meant doors. Actually, is what I meant.
All right. Well, Paul, listen, I appreciate it. I'm sorry. Apologise to your other half for disturbing them. And
I didn't mention you. Jesus, I can't talk about you.
Well, that's good to know. Paul, thanks for your call, man, and thanks for your tweets. I appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, pal.
Take care. Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000. How effective, Jennifer, I'll come to you in a second. How effective are those Facebook ads? Because if you're a small business, I run a small record label, right? And if you are a small business and you tweet a link to like Amazon or any online store, it's really annoying. No one sees that post. Hardly anyone sees that post. Whereas, like a year ago, people would see that post and it would develop a life of its own, and it would get shared and liked and comments and stuff. Facebook has got a weird system now where it can, if it detects it's an advert, a post linking you to something what you want people to buy, its algorithms will kind of hide that Facebook post in people's timelines. And if you do an advert, suddenly loads of people see it. But I wonder how effective those adverts on Facebook are. Because I took an advert out for this. I did an advert for the podcast for this. And it seems to have lots of people, it says lots of people have seen it. If you have seen it, do give us a call and let me know. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. And I just wonder if they are effective, because I am scratching my head. And I've got to say, this isn't a knock at the management at all, and my boss is brilliant, and we had a lovely little argument last week about something, but at the end of it, I sent him a text afterwards saying, it was a great argument, I still love you, and he said, I still love you too. Imagine doing that at the BBC, having an argument with your boss and texting them, but I still love you. Even though we disagreed on that, I still love you. And he goes, yeah, I love you too. Isn't that ridiculous? But wonderful. That day won't always be there. But, so this isn't anyway a knock at all, but I do wonder how a small, late night radio show with, let's be honest, there's not been much advertising, how we get more people to kind of know about us. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not necessarily saying this so that you might have the answer. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I don't quite know what I can do. I mean, obviously, all of you lot, you share it on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And here's another thing. I wonder about how much, I nearly said nearly said a word then. I nearly said the word traffic. But I wonder how much, engagement Twitter brings. Right? I remember a friend of mine who writes for Jimmy Carr. And we were talking about this about a year ago, and he says that when Jimmy Carr goes on tour, Jennifer, I promise I will come to you in a minute. 0844 499 1000. When Jimmy Carr goes on tour, when he tweets the link to buy tickets, it has a negligible impact on ticket sales. And from that we concluded that people will find out through other media that Jimmy Carr is doing a tour. I'm disappearing slightly. I'm getting lost slightly in my own words, but these things happen. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We had a nice laid-back show yesterday. I suspect we might have another one of those this evening, which is no bad thing at all. Jennifer, you'll be next. Then it'll be Daryl. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late-night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, guys, listen, that spiel at the first 15 minutes of the show was worth it. 2 people have emailed in, Iain at iainlee.com. This is going to happen with talents. Someone's made a short film, beautiful, and Dana. I don't see a problem with that. If you don't see a problem with that, beautiful. I can understand why that, and I'm not going to say on air, but I'll share it with Catherine later on. But I'm not going to say it on air because I can understand. Dana has an issue that Dana is concerned about. I don't have an issue with that, Dana, and I would encourage you to come to what is going to be, it's going to be a safe environment, for people to come and try stuff. So if you want to come and have a go at that, beautiful, beautiful. This is going to happen. This is gonna happen, guys. Jennifer! Let's try again. Jennifer!
Sorry, I didn't hear the beginning bit.
That's all right, I do.
You left me on hold for too long.
Well, 12 minutes, 14 seconds. That's not bad. Some people, I remember a lot of Darrens have lasted a lot longer than that. Yeah,
I telephoned because you didn't have anyone telephoning. But then you listened for ages.
I know. It's been. I think partly because the kids have gone back to school. So what was that?
It's just a glass. Sorry.
Are you drunk?
No.
Juice. Oh man. Yeah. The kids have gone back to school, and so it's been really quiet on the phones this week, which is fine. Which is fine. That's when I get paid when it's busy on the phones.
I'm wondering if it's too vague though.
Too vaguely.
Too vague. There's no topics.
Yeah.
So people feel intimidated to call.
But when I do topics, and I did some topics last night.
What were the topics?
What were the topics?
Can I just stop you?
Sorry?
I've not listened that much, but
yes,
when I have, maybe 3 of the times you've talked about the Beach Boys.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's too obscure for some listeners.
To the Beach Boys.
I like the Beach Boys, but you do talk about them a lot.
Well, when was the last 3? So is this the 3rd time or is this the 4th time?
Maybe the 5th.
Okay. So
one time you talked a lot about wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Wrestling?
You was talking about a documentary that you saw.
About wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't remember that.
And then another time, Jake the Snake.
Oh, Jake the Snake. Yeah, that was good, that.
Yeah.
He's not a Beach Boy.
And then the Monkees as well. You like those guys, don't you?
I do like the Monkees, but I've deliberately rolled back on talking about the Monkees.
Okay.
That was a conscious decision.
Yeah, I don't mind. I like that stuff, but I don't know if it's for everyone.
Well, it's not for everyone, but I in my head, the show that I'm hearing when I'm doing it is there is lots of different things for lots of different people.
Like Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
But I never got that, because Seinfeld was always about something. I mean, that was the tagline, it's a show about nothing, but it was always about something.
Yeah. I agree.
But as I was saying, before you interrupted, yesterday we did do some topics, and no one phoned in about them.
Okay.
And it is, and I'm not having a pop. It is a constant thought in my head that maybe I am wrong on this. But my heart, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Tells me I'm right.
But I don't know if you are wrong or right either.
No.
I'm just putting it out there.
No, I don't know, and I'm not taking it as a criticism at all. I'm taking it as constructive questioning, which is always good. So I don't know.
It's just a bit of critical reflection.
Oh, it's a critical reflection.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. Critical.
Yeah.
I tell you what we can. All right, okay. Here was what we're talking about, right? You know that club is closing down. What club is it? Not Pasha. Fabric, right?
Yeah.
Right, and everyone's been talking about it. It's very London-centric, right? But the whole news, everywhere, here and on LBC and on the telly, has been about Fabric closing down.
To be honest, I thought it closed down like 10 years ago.
No.
Okay. Well, I have seen it today in the news, but it didn't really affect me.
No, this is the thing, right? Does it affect more than a couple of hundred people? I can't understand why it's become such a big news story. I literally couldn't be bothered. There's a side conversation to have about the fact that London's lost 50% of its nightclubs in the last 3 years and the effect it might have on industry and nightlife. And, there was a report out 6 days ago saying that land had got the thumbs up to be sold. So there's all these kind of questions, but even still, I'm like a big, I don't care about it.
Yet it doesn't mean anything to me, to be honest.
But that's the thing. The news agenda today has been such that we have been told that is an important news story. We've been told that.
Yeah, I suppose so. And it's been on social media quite heavily as well, hasn't it?
There is someone.
But I liked the Mike Ashley story today.
What was the Mike Ashley story? Did
you not see that? He had to empty his pockets.
Oh, this is...
And he pulled out the £50 notes.
Beautiful. This is the
This is into the casino.
Is this the JJB... No, not JJB Sports.
Sports Direct.
Sports Direct, fellow, and he had a big load of 50 quid. I mean, talk about rubbing people's faces in it. Good for him, though.
But he just looks like a character of a bad businessman.
They do. Him and the British Home Stores man should get a series on ITV4 or something, where they go around they have races in their luxury yachts, because they both just look like complete and utter dodgepots.
But why would you say I've been to the casino? Like the nation hates him.
Would you lie? Would you want him to lie?
I don't know. I just find it amusing that he said that.
But if he lied, if he said, I just took it out for my mum or something, I don't know, the papers would find out where he'd been.
Would you just say nothing and put it back?
Well, he had to take it out as he got checked. Wasn't it when he got checked by security?
You know why he had to take it out? Because he was doing a demonstration of what the staff at his factory have to go through at the end of the day to make sure that they've not shoplifted.
See, that's
so funny. He was doing a demonstration and he pulled that wad of £50 notes out.
Good for him. Good for him. We're just jealous, aren't we? Because I've been to a casino a few times. I haven't been for years. The first time I went, I was very, very lucky. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I made about 400 quid, and it was enough to take me and my girlfriend to Prague for the weekend. But we're just jealous that he's got a wad of £50 notes, aren't we?
Maybe. No, I don't.
Yes.
I'm not jealous.
Yes,
that guy.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But
exactly. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind a wad of £50 notes.
I do go into Sports Direct as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you get in there?
Just so cheap.
Yeah, well.
Loads of gear.
I don't think I think I've been into a JJB Sports and a Sports Direct once.
Yeah, Sports Direct, that's what he owns.
Yeah, I know. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
I think I've been in there, once, but, I don't know. I think I bought a cheap cricket set for my boys.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, what was it?
Everybody goes in there.
Well, there we go. There's a topic. What did you buy in Sports Direct? Call me now. 08444991000. There's a topic. Let's see. Do you like... Okay, let me just ask you one more thing before I let you go, Jennifer, because you've been kind enough to phone in. Do you like listening to the show when it doesn't have topics, or does it make you feel uncomfortable, or is it boring, or is it what? What?
No, I like it, but my husband gets a bit like, turn this off. So, yeah, we have a bit of an argument. But I think he does like you, but I think he likes to have a...
There are issues at home. And he's using me as a conduit.
No, it's just we have different late-night radio tastes.
What does he like late at night?
He likes to listen to, like, Star Wars podcasts.
Oh, flipping heck! All right, I tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about Star Wars after 11. How's about that?
Yeah, if you do that, it'll be good.
Jennifer, I really appreciate your call. Thank you very much indeed. 08444991000. I'd love to get Shatner on the show. That would be a dream booking, getting Shatner on the show. I'll tell you what, I'll email Shatner tomorrow. You never know. We got Mike Love coming on. So, dreams can come true. Annie has emailed via talkradio.co.uk. You should try doing late night wind-ups like Caesar used to. The best one was him convincing listeners that the meteorite was going to hit the moon at 2 a.m. Cue hundreds of listeners traipsing outside at 2 a.m. to avoid the resulting flash, only to come back to a big gotcha on the radio. I think people are too savvy these days, aren't they? To fall for big pranks like that. Oh, speaking of the moon, we're going to get Joe Lavens on. He's a UFO expert. He's hopefully going to come on one night next week, fingers crossed, to talk about the transmission that NASA and lots of scientists have received, possibly from another planet. So Joe Lavens is going to come on at some point. But I think people are too media savvy these days to fall for the big wind-ups. So I don't know. 0844 499 1000. Darryl, you'll be next. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. You can call in literally about anything, and I know that makes some of you uncomfortable. There you go. Darryl's on the line.
Hi, Ian. You all right?
I'm all right, Darryl. What you got for us, boss?
Well, what it was, I was listening to the show, yesterday's show today, and I found out that after a song I recommended a few months ago, you formed the Beatles ska group from it. So,
which after what?
Oh, a few months ago.
And you broke up. Say that again.
I recommended a song a few months ago.
Which song did you recommend?
Chaz and Dave, Lonnie Donegan.
Oh yeah, it was you. We listened to
the ska group.
We formed a ska group after. Let me find it, right, because we played it. Hang on a second, YouTube. Oh, I might have it on my computer.
You had to download it. Weren't on YouTube.
I did download it, didn't I? Chaz and Dave. I did. Hang on a minute. Here we go. You recommended this. This is. Chaz and Dave and Lonnie Donegan, and you won't see me. When I call you up, your lines engaged. I have had enough, so accurate. We have lost time. The time was so hard to find, and I will lose my mind. You won't see me, you won't see me, you won't see me. I don't know. So, listen, for some reason, we were just listening to songs while we were rehearsing. I said, I've got to play this tune. I played them that, Darryl. And then we were joking about doing Cockney versions of the Beatles, and we'd get like, the Beatles collarless suits. We'd get them, but covered in pearls, like pearly kings and queens. And then one of us said, how about ska? That's a bit ska. What if we did ska? And my mate Spencer did the opening chord to A Hard Day's Night. Matt on the drums did that kind of ska drum beat. Yeah. We were off. And as a result of you, Darryl, we've got a new band called the Ska Day Nights.
Yes, and so where do I fit in all this then?
Huh?
Where do I fit in then? Seems I planted the seed.
Ooh.
Like old stuff.
Can you sing?
No. I've never tried.
Well, go on, give it a go.
Oh, I don't know what to sing, mate.
Well, no, mate! We're in a rock and roll band. We're in a ska band. You can't be shy. We're looking for a singer. That much I know.
Right, well... Phew.
I'll tell you what, if you came down to one of our gigs, I'd buy you a pint.
Yeah, go on then.
Is that a deal?
Where it is.
Well,
is it in High Wycombe?
No, it'll probably be, be High Wycombe, mate. We're playing, I tell you what, actually, Darryl, we're playing, what's that pub in High Wycombe that has live bands?
That's Nag's Head. That's closed down.
No, not the Nag's Head. We're playing, where's a good place for bands to play?
The Old Town Hall.
We're playing at the Old Town Hall this Saturday night at 9:30, and your name will be on the door, Darryl. Just rock up. Your name will be set. We'll say, I'm Darryl. I know. We'll wave you in, and I'll buy you as much free beer that night as you want. How about that?
Oh, lovely, mate. That'd be great.
Nice one, Daryl. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday and shaking your hand.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'll be
mate.
there, mate.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye,
Bye.
mate. Bye-bye, mate. Bye, mate. Bye, mate. Don't anybody else go, because obviously that's not happening. Weirdo. Everyone wants a piece. Those songs, the EP, which I've called, my mate Glenn is putting the songs I did with Nigel from Maidstone and Barry from Watford and the DC DJ on iTunes, and he just kept bombarding me with questions. He needed information, so I was just firing back answers because I was busy, and I needed a name for the EP, so I've called it the Lindsay Lohan Sessions. The Lindsay Lohan Sessions. It's going to be on iTunes soon. Well, it's got to be approved by iTunes, and I didn't get a picture of Nigel because I just honestly, life was. I just sent a picture. It's a picture of me. Okay, guys. Okay, it's a picture of me. But that's going to be available. They're going to be available soon. Those 3 tracks, you can download it as an EP. We could. Oh, I wonder if we can get it registered as country. I'll tell you why. Because if you register it as country, you haven't got to sell that many to get into the country charts. I wonder if we could register it as country. Well, I'll look into that. Robert, good evening, Robert.
Hello, man, how are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm good. See, you're getting some callers in now, it's great.
The very, very high quality of caller as well, Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that last bit you just had there.
Yeah.
Just a topic, a subject you might want to talk about, I don't know. This bloody wall we're building in Calais, where do you want all these people to go that have been bombed by our own governments? Where do they expect them to go?
I don't think we've bombed them.
We've funded them, though.
But we've not bombed them.
No, but our government and the American government have funded them, have funded the bombs and the ammunition. Now these people haven't got anywhere to live.
Well, no, we haven't funded the bombs and ammunition.
We have.
I think we've sold them the bombs and ammunition.
So there's a different way of looking at it.
Well, no, it's not. No, they're completely different things, though. Funding and selling are different.
Okay, so we've sold them.
Well, I don't know if we have. I don't know. We've certainly not sold chlorine.
Oh yeah, that's shocking.
But where do you want them to go?
Well, where are they going to go? I feel for these people.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking.
Well,
building a wall is not the answer.
Well, the wall isn't definitely happening, is it? That's an idea that's been put forward
by unelected Prime Minister.
Yeah, but it's not definitely going to happen.
Do you think it will?
I don't think it will. How many have you taken in?
Do you know, if I could, I would. My little flat here in Sheffield, I don't know how many I could fit in, but if I could, I would.
Well, you can. How many bedrooms you got?
I've got 1 bedroom.
Okay, and you got a sofa, yeah?
I've got a sofa, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, you keep on the sofa, and in the bedroom you could probably get, well, let's say a family of 3.
Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Why?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want them in my house.
That's a bit harsh.
Well, no, I don't want people living in my house. I'm very peculiar and particular about who I let in my house. I don't like it when friends come to stay in my house. So having strangers in my house, but you obviously feel very strongly about it. And you feel stronger about it than I do. So why don't you take in 2 or 3 of them?
Then it will be classed as illegal immigrants.
Well, no, but
I'll be a criminal.
Well, no, I'm not saying you drive over there and you shove them in the boot. There will be ways, there will be services where you can offer your help and your property, and I'm sure there'll be agencies you can register with and say, look, I've got a spare bedroom. You know, if anyone wants to come and stay for a few months, they'll be welcome to. Well, loads of refugee charities would love to hear from you.
Interesting. I just feel for these people.
Well, but obviously not that much.
Well, why not?
Well, because you're not prepared to sleep on the sofa for a couple of months.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
So you're going to do it?
Wouldn't bother me at all, my man. No?
Put your dick back in your trousers. You don't need to get that out and show it to me. Are you going to do it?
To me, my dick isn't out of my trousers.
Well, I can hear something waving around and trying to impress me.
My dick isn't out of my trousers. I don't need to impress you.
Well, then do it. Phone them up and do it.
Why do I have to impress you? Do you not care about these people? Are you not aware that it's our government that's selling, funding all these bombs that are landing on these kids and all these refugees now in Calais, cause of our own governments?
But what are you? I don't understand what you're doing to better their situation.
How can I, apart from share the information through my own YouTube channel and other things? Don't even start. I know what you're going to say.
What do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to say conspiracy theorist, aren't you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Oh, okay. What are you going to say?
I was going to say it's interesting you've got a YouTube channel.
I find it. Listen, I'm ex-service. I've been to these countries, and I've also been to.
You have been part of the problem then.
Sadly, I came out in 2008.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little bit older. I understand that I was.
But what impact?
Part of the cog.
What impact do you think putting videos up on YouTube will get? Why don't you? I mean, I'm assuming you donate money and stuff and time and things like that.
Not money, no.
Oh.
Sharing of knowledge.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were doing everything. You didn't know what you could do to help. Well, there's something you could do. You could give some money.
No, because it won't get there.
Huh?
It won't get there.
Where will it go?
The corrupt charities.
All of them?
No, just about.
Save the Children? Corrupt? Are they bent? Is Oxfam, is that bent?
Well, the company directors get a hefty pay, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they do. But they're good at their jobs. What about a local refugee charity?
Well, we're talking St Luke's.
Is that, I don't know.
Closer.
Is that a local charity? Refugee?
I'll give to St Luke's, which is my local.
So you do give money?
Yeah, I give money on clothes and things that I don't need.
Okay.
It's very hard to stoke up a conversation with someone you never spoke to before about this sort of stuff, because a lot of people don't want to hear it, or don't want to hear the truth. Well,
the truth the truth as is perceived by you.
Well, that's what I believe.
Yeah, exactly. That is your truth, and people's truths can be very different. Well, I hope you feel that I've listened.
Have you listened?
Well, gosh, that I guess you feel I haven't listened in that case. I've not listened passively. I've engaged and I've challenged.
Okay.
You sound like you don't like being challenged.
That might be my PTSD.
Your PTSD means you don't like being challenged?
Possibly, yeah. It causes a side effect.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know how to react to that.
Take it as you will.
Okay, but I can still challenge you though, even though your PTSD means that makes you uncomfortable. When you are presenting your truth, whatever condition you may or may not have, I am still allowed to challenge that, aren't I?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. What's your YouTube channel, friend? And people can go and have a look at it.
It's the Watching Observer 76.
The what was that? The Watching Observer?
The Watching Observer 76.
Okie dokie.
Just tap it in there.
Tap it in there.
Yeah.
And has it got funny videos of like cats falling out of trees and stuff, just to lighten the mood a bit? Because it sounds quite heavy.
No.
Ah. Okay. Well,
it's just a sharing of knowledge and things that are going on that you won't see in the ready-made media.
Where do you... Oh, the ready-made media. Are they like the mainstream media?
Yeah.
Where do you... I hope you've enjoyed our call, Robert. I really have, and I hope you call again.
No, I love it.
Where do you... Final question, then I've got to go because the news is coming. Where do you get your information from?
Onion websites and the dark web, which is not regulated, because a lot of Google is now restricted and information is removed.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you thoroughly question and research all of the information that you get on the dark web. You don't just accept it passively.
No, I don't know.
Okay. How do you do your research?
I speak to other people.
Okay.
Like-minded people.
Yeah. Maybe you should speak to people who aren't like-minded as well. Because if we speak to like-minded people, then we're gonna hear echoes of our own thoughts, aren't we?
I understand what you're saying, but I think I'm speaking to you.
Okay. Robert, I've really enjoyed your call. We'll speak again.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, mate. Take care.
Great show. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, mate. Good luck. 0844. That was fun, wasn't it? I enjoyed that. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. Oh, we've got a call. Look at this. How exciting. We've got a call from, is that Los Angeles? We've got a call from Los Angeles and we've got a call from Birmingham. This really has become a very, very international show. I'm Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Ah, dearie me. Well, that was an interesting hour. It turns out when I do the show and I'm leaning on my elbows, it goes much gentler and much slower. Mike Love of the Beach Boys is coming up a little bit later on. Also Andre and Alan. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
In that soulful man, sunshine. Fresh and sweet, keeps herself soft and tender. No wonder that I can sing a song about my baby. She looks so healthy, I feel so dark and wealthy. No wonder that I can sing a song about my baby. So happy together, love is better in that soulful old man sunshine. She wakes up singing songs of happy ever after. Well, let me just tell you about my ever loving lady. One bright September, I can't remember the morning we walked together, laughing in the sunshine. So happy together, love is better in that soulful old man sunshine. Hey, old man, shine your love on me. The light shines through and I see you there standing before me. Today the world is new, I feel so high and so far with you. Yeah. Morning and evening,
bother to release that at the time. And it sounds a bit unfinished, but... Mike Love of the Beach Boys, in a little over an hour's time, dear listener, will be calling in. He's phoning in. Live from Los Angeles, California. Hey, we've got a call from Los Angeles already. It's Andre. Evening, Andre.
Good evening.
Hey, man.
Hey, you took me over Birmingham? That's cool.
I chose you over Birmingham. It is very cool.
That is very... Hey, I'm calling in about a complaint.
Uh-oh.
The Daily Mail is my favorite. You guys got it right. That's the only news I read, but you guys got to get rid of the Kardashians. We're sick of them. We're sick of them over here, and every time I go to the dailies, they're all over the paper over there. So.
I don't even really know what the Kardashians are. I know that there's a picture of one of the Kardashians' nipples in a see-through bra today. That's the big story.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
I don't know why that is a story.
I want to see British nipples. I don't want to see American nipples.
Wowzers. But what do the Kardashians? What are they famous for?
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I mean, now they're famous because of Bruce, and thank God my dad's dead because he loved Bruce,
Okay, Bruce is Bruce is transgender and has become a woman now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. But as a kid, Bruce was a big hero. He was on the Wheatie box over here. We loved Bruce. I guess we still do, but...
Can Bruce not be a big... I don't know what Bruce's name is now.
I don't either.
Okay. But can Bruce not be an even bigger hero now for daring to make such a bold step as changing gender? Caitlin is her name.
I'm old, so it's kind of hard to explain to my kids.
Well, yeah, it is tough to explain. How old are your kids?
10.
Okay, well, it is a tough one to explain to kids. But that's, there's loads of tough stuff to explain to kids. That's our job, man, as parents. But some people feel uncomfortable and I don't know the ins and outs of it and the psychological traumas that transgender people must go through, but some people feel, uncomfortable with the body they were given, and they wish to change that body.
No, I understand that, but hey, the other thing though is I love the politics on the Daily Mail. You guys get it right, more so than we do over here.
Hang on a minute, man. You're saying that did you say that the only news you get is from the Daily Mail?
Well, no, but that's where I go to first.
Why? You're like my mum. The Daily Mail is awful.
Well, the National Enquirer here used to be a joke, and then everything that they said 10 years ago ended up being true.
Let's go through the Daily Mail front page. Britain to build great. Are you a Trump supporter?
Not really, but more so than Hillary.
Britain to build great. That says a lot. Britain to build Great Wall of Calais. We'll pay for 13-foot-high concrete barrier to keep migrants out. And then there's a thing about Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston. I heard a story about him the other day. But the third page, the cream that gets rid of wrinkles. Why? I don't understand.
Okay, see, I got the Daily Mail app, so...
Oh, you go to the Mail Online? That's the most poisonous website. Please tell me, Andre, you're not one of those people that leaves comments on there, are you?
No, but I do push the green or the red button,
What does the green or the red button do?
It's, you like what they say or you disapprove, so...
But geez, the Mail Online is one of the most. The Mail Online is always showing tits and scantily clad young women, which is not what they do in the newspaper.
I don't mind that.
Okay, you don't mind that. You don't mind that. Okay, that's not what the newspaper is like.
Right.
But they got a thing about Apple. They've got. it's just.
the new Apple's out, right, yeah.
It's just...
No, but politically wise, it's interesting to read the Daily.
Send them back, send them back, send them back. They're nasty and smelly and black. That's the Daily. That was a sketch. That was a Smith and Jones sketch, and it was they were doing a pastiche of Chaz and Dave, and it was like
you
really.
know what? I don't think most Americans want to send. I'm in L.A., so we love the Hispanics. So
what?
It's. I don't think we're going to build a wall.
Okay.
I don't think a wall.
Okay, but if the wall was built, you'd be okay with that.
No, I wouldn't.
Why? Can I ask? Why are you listening to? I'll tell the story about Smith and Jones in a minute. Why are you listening to this? Because I kind of consider myself to be quite liberal and peace and love man and left wing and the Daily Mail I ain't.
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand why you can't be both. I'm a little bit of both. On some things, I'm a liberal. On some things, I
can dig that.
It's common sense. That's what we're lacking over here.
Jobless migrant couple with 8 children turned down a new 5-bed council house because it didn't have a dining room. Scumbags, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, scumbags. Scumbags. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with their 8 kids. Scumbags. Coincidence they're black? That's just coincidence, yeah?
Yeah,
that's just a coincidence.
Exactly.
Okay. What else?
You and I would take it.
What else? What else have we got? Kylie Jenner's boobs.
Okay, yeah, you got that.
Charlotte McKinney's boobs.
Yeah.
Melissa George's boobs. Kim Kardashian's boobs. Amanda Holden's boobs.
I'm fine with all the boobs. It's just the Kardashians.
Okay.
We've seen their boobs. We need to move on.
Okay. Well, we need to move on as well. Well, thank you for your call, Andre.
Thank you.
Tutty bye. Tutty bye. So Smith and Jones were doing a pastiche of Chaz and Dave, and they were all racist songs, and it turns out they were singing about their shoes, but all the songs were cleverly. I must have been about 10 when I saw that. 12. Send them back, send them back, send them back. They're nasty and smelly and black. That was a Smith and Jones sketch. Alan!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Alan.
Sorry, I'm late calling this week, boss.
You don't need to apologise, Alan. Your seat is always warm here.
Thank you, because Monday I was watching the first of a new series of Cold Feet.
How did that go?
Not as good as I hoped it would be.
These things never are.
I mean, it was good the first time on, so why bring it back?
So that viewers like you would watch it, even if it was a load of old tripe, you would have watched it.
No, I only watched the first one just to see if they've still got the magic, but I think they've lost it without Helen Baxendale.
James Nesbitt's got some magic happening on his head. What is that?
Probably doing a Shatner.
They asked Helen Baxendale to come back, didn't they, as a ghost?
Of the ghost of Rachel.
Well, the ghost of whatever the character was that she was playing, yes.
She played Rachel.
Rachel was it? I'd never seen it. And she rightfully told them to jog on.
She died and she wanted to stay dead.
Yep. And I think that's an important lesson for everybody. When you die, stay died, please.
And also, this set the agenda thing.
Yeah.
I want to do something with Lady Kadonk.
Okay, then fine, you can.
No, we were going to do a karaoke duet.
You could do Islands in the Stream.
Well, me and Lady Kadonk were friends on Facebook.
Oh, right.
And she suggested we do a Grease song.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Hang on, I'm just seeing what Lady Kadonk said. No, I don't believe it. You know Lee Bonet? He's telling me to grow a beard.
Well, you should grow a pair. Yeah, well, listen, you need to... Everyone who wants to take part needs to send me an email.
What's the email address?
Iain.
Yeah.
At iainlee.com.
Iain at iainlee.com.
Yeah.
So, should I send one and Lady Kadonk should send one?
I don't care. Just, you need to send one. It's going to be at the end of October. It's going to be in London. Are you able to get to London safely?
I can get the train to London Euston.
Okay.
Then get the underground to wherever it needs to be.
Well, someone needs to. I'm going to maybe try and book a date tomorrow. Thank you, Ed. Someone needs to.
Evening, Ed.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so just stop that now. Someone needs to email me and tell me what they want to do.
Well, as soon as I finish talking to you, I'll just speak to Lady Kadonk on Facebook, and we'll decide who's going to send the email.
Okay.
And also...
You're arguing about who's going to send the email. How is this act going to go down, guys? Yes.
The Paralympics start tonight.
Nuts, I'm busy.
No, it's starting as we speak on the terrestrial channel.
Oh, that's why it's so quiet on the phones. Everyone's watching more sport.
Yeah, see if we can be successful as our Olympians.
I don't...
celebrating disability as well.
Well, are they celebrating disability?
Yeah.
Is it a celebration? Are they celebrating... I mean, they're celebrating achievements despite disability. Are they actually celebrating... Hooray for people who can't walk! Look at those wheelchairs! Hey, you've got no limbs! That's great! Is that what it is?
According to the Sky Guide, the celebration of diversity and carnival or sporting pageantry.
Okay, I tell you what, do you fancy a quick game of rock, scissors, paper?
I don't know how that's going to work on the radio.
It'll work really well. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, what you got?
Paper.
Oh, mate, I got scissors. We got a best of 3. 1, 2, 3. What you got?
Rock.
Oh, mate, I've got paper. Make it...
Sorry, I better go. You win 2-0.
That sounds like someone bottling it to me. That sounded like a classic case of bottling. People were watching on Periscope. I was playing fairly. I showed you what my hand was. So, if you fancy a game, we can have... I might play that. I might love a bit later on. I might not. 0844 499 1000. Craig, honey, stay there. Come to you after this.
Late night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. We're going to go to Honey first. Good evening, Honey.
Hey.
Hi,
Hi,
honey.
mate.
How's it going, man?
Hi. I'm good, thank you.
Thanks very much. I'm looking at your Twitter feed.
I know you are.
I'm looking now.
Thanks, man.
You like the Beach Boys, huh?
I love the Beach Boys. They're my favourite band.
Let's find out if you really like the Beach Boys. I have some questions for you. What's the best Beach Boys album?
Oh my god, that sounds obviously...
Incorrect answer. Incorrect answer.
No, Sunflower.
Correct answer. Sorry. You're through to round 2.
Oh, yes.
What is the best Beach Boys song?
Oh my god, how could you possibly ask me?
Because there is an answer.
Kokomo.
Yeah! Do you know what? That is the incorrect answer, but I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to play you a snatch from the Beach Boys' best song, right? And this is just to see you say they're your favourite band. All right, sure, fine. Let's find out if they're your favourite band. You have to identify. You have to identify this song. Ready, go. Hang on, the computer's warming up. Here. Oh no, I'm not. Hang on, I've not got it plugged in. Hang on a minute. Plug in. There we go. So, here we go. What song is this, and what album is it from? Oh, come on, computer. What song is that?
Ian, come on. Only With You, Holland.
Hey, honey! You passed the test. Quick, come in, shut the door quickly behind you. You're in our secret Beach Boys club. Good work. Yes. Well done. You win.
Thank you.
Mike Love is going to be on this phone line talking to me in an hour's time. I'm terrified.
I am so jealous, to be honest, because I actually love that man.
I think he's brilliant. I do understand. I understand why some people take against him, but I don't understand why there's so much vitriol against him.
I agree completely. I kind of used to pretend that I disliked him, but I recently accepted him.
Yeah.
And I love him.
As your personal saviour.
Exactly.
I did. Yeah. I bought into all of that stuff. Because I was not thinking clearly. I bought into all of that stuff. And then, I wrote an article about it for Record Collector, and I really sat down and thought about it long and hard. And most of my prejudice had no cause. There was no reason for it. And also, who hasn't recorded a few duff records and done a few stupid things? I mean, Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney's made some absolute stinkers. He made a whole movie, Give My Regards to Broad Street, which is unwatchable. And we still love Paul McCartney, rightfully so. People are allowed to do stupid things.
I agree completely. I tell this to people all the time. They don't want to listen. Thank you.
No, thank you, and it's nice to find other people getting that. And I don't think we'll turn a lot of the people. I've been kicked off a forum for expressing, my views, and people think I'm getting paid by his management and stuff to write this stuff. And I posted that he was coming on the show. Oh well, that just proves that you're in his pocket. You're an employee. What?
Oh my God.
I've tried for ages to get an interview with Mike, and we finally managed to work some magic and pull it out of the hat. Here's the thing, honey. I'm going to go in deep, right? I'm going to go in deep. I may open with Only With You.
Yes.
I've written down a list. I may open with Only With You or Pacific Ocean Blue from Pacific Ocean Blue by Dennis Wilson.
Oh.
But, because he wrote the lyrics to that, you see.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh!
I didn't know that.
He wrote the lyrics to Pacific Ocean Blue. But I'm also prepared to accept if he just wants to talk about Surfing USA and Barbara Ann, then that's groovy as well. Just talking to the man will be a thrill.
Oh, I want to talk to him.
Phone up in an hour and we'll see. Phone up in an hour.
Oh my God.
But we'll ride the vibe. I'm going to play this by ear. Right? And this isn't an open invitation to everyone. This is just an invitation. This is an invitation to Honey. Don't stitch me up on this, Honey. Don't stitch me up on this.
I won't.
Don't be a stealth, suicide bomber and come in and say something awful to him, will you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I couldn't do that to him.
Phone up. We will ride the vibe. If I feel he's having a good time, I'll put you on. If I feel he's not, I won't. You know what I mean when I say that, don't you?
Yeah.
I was going to say something really profound then, and I've completely. But yeah, if he wants, I'm going to try and talk about some of the more obscure stuff. But if he wants to just talk about Barbara Ann and Surfing USA and you know, California Girls, then do you know what? That's groovy. That's what I was going to talk about. We had Dean from Jan and Dean on the other night as well.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Yeah.
Go to iTunes and get the podcast. The Dean Torrance podcast is up.
Oh my God,
honey!
That's amazing.
I may speak to you in an hour.
Oh my God, please! I would be so happy.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Honestly, I'm really nervous because I just don't know what to expect from him. I don't know what to expect from him at all.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, to be honest.
I'm going to be sat here grinning like an idiot. He could just sit there for 20 minutes and go, blah, 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 and I'll be going, yes, Mike. Thank you, Mike. That's brilliant.
Oh my God.
Honey, I may speak to you later on. Thanks for your call.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Craig.
Ian.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good, thanks, yeah.
What you got for us, boss?
Following up on Paul's original call about going mainstream or not.
Oh, yeah.
But don't go mainstream, because, there's not many of you out there. I agree with them fully.
But by not going mainstream, I am constantly putting my career in a precarious position, always with the chance of things going tits up and getting the boot. Whereas if I went mainstream, I might earn a bit more money, which would be great. But I'd have more secure work.
Oh yeah, it makes no economic sense to you. I agree.
Oh, but it's for the benefit of you. It's for the benefit of you.
I tuned into that breakfast show for you to watch it, and your bits were brilliant, but it was so vanilla.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch that every week.
Yeah.
And I can listen to this. I know it's difficult with the listening figures, but I give 3 hours a night for 5 days a week for this.
But we know that you're a massive racist.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on those things as well. What did Andre sober up and become an American racist?
Yeah, that Andre was unusual, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's not the original Andre, was it?
No. I don't think it was the original. But strange call from Los Angeles.
And I have a feeling the Mail Online sees what you're dialing in from, the DNS. And he'll have all American news. That's probably why he has more Kardashian stuff.
No, but if you go to... I went to the Mail Online. It's full of Kardashian stuff.
Yeah,
The Mail Online is weird. The Mail Online is completely different from the newspaper, the Daily Mail. It's much more titty scandalous, and clickbaitery. Whereas, at least the Daily Mail, sometimes they do actually do quite good investigative journalism, and quite good stuff. But the Mail Online is just shock factor. And the comments section, oh man, it's a dark, dark world.
Yeah, I avoid it.
Yeah.
But did you see that Trump's missus is doing them for them suggesting that she was something to do with a prostitution ring?
Oh dear!
And they've done a grovelling apology already because they got the same. I think it's the same lawyer that got Gawker done. Gawker went down, didn't they? Because they had the Hulk Hogan.
I don't know what Gawker is.
It was there was the website that did the dirty on Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay. They got his sex tape, didn't they?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more vile than watching Hulk Hogan pounding away in the ring. Why would anyone want to see that?
I mean, it's fair enough. It was a good case, but all the Americans are now worried about the effect because it was a millionaire that backed him, one little billionaire.
Well, good. People shouldn't have their sex tapes.
Agreed.
Shown around, unless they're having a party to show them around.
It's the same lawyer that is after the Mail now, so that's another good thing she's done by the sounds of it.
No, the Mail will offer a huge settlement, and that'll be fine. And the Mail will get on banging on about immigrants and the weather.
Deary me.
Anything else, Craig?
Not really, no.
All right.
I was just going to say don't go mainstream.
Thank you, mate. Nice to talk to you. Not spoken for ages. 0844 499 1000. Jonathan, Bruce, Triss. Mike Love is coming up a little bit later on in the show. It's all happening on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Jonathan.
Hi. I've noticed something that's gone amiss in this story about Fabric being shut down.
Oh, yes, this is the nightclub. It's been in the news, all over the news, and I cannot really... I mean, I know it links onto kind of other issues, but I can't really... it's certainly not got me. I mean, someone was doing a phone-in about it earlier on, and I just think, why? What's the story? Go on. But what's the part of the debate that's been missed so far?
Well, apparently, it's in the borough of Islington.
Right.
And who are the two MPs that represent Islington in Parliament?
Jeremy Corbyn.
One.
And Diane Abbott.
No.
I don't know. Go on.
Emily Thornberry.
Emily Thornberry. Okay.
Yeah, and
I don't know who Emily Thornberry is.
Oh, she hates England flags.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, she's sort of like a reject from the Archers.
Okay. Oh, by the way, isn't that court case tedious listening?
I missed yesterday's big reveal.
I missed yesterday's. I heard it today, and obviously, have you heard today's?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Today, obviously, yesterday she blurted out in court that he'd raped her, and but I'm finding it all a little bit. It's a bit.
I just have these visions of, Village of the Damned, where the whole village, like in Game of Thrones, where they all take turns to stab Jon Snow to death. That's
Jon
at
Snow.
the end of October. Game of Thrones fans will know what I'm talking about.
Okay, fine.
But it'll probably be that's how Rob meets his end. The entire village stabs him to death.
Well, but not everybody. The village is going to implode, isn't it? Because not everybody is. The sides are split. There are still people that are on Rob's side.
Yeah, Ambridge is like the Labour Party.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. It's imploding. Here's the thing as well. I don't like all of the backstory about the lawyer.
Oh, I found that absolutely. It was virtue signalling at its worst.
It was embarrassing, and I'm sure you're upset because she's a lesbian. That doesn't bother me either way. But it was just. It's like I don't need to know her backstory. It's irrelevant, and obviously they're going to see if people like her and she'll become a permanent character in the Archers. All right, brilliant, nice one.
Oh, we know what's going to happen. She's going to end up a main character.
Yeah, of course.
And her mother will pull out of this trip to the Alps, and Helen will go.
Helen will go with her, and they'll have a lesbian affair.
Yeah,
of course.
It's so transparent.
It is. I don't want to know her backstory. It's irrelevant. She's a minor character. She's a lawyer. Let her get on with it and do some lawyering.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. You were being racist about something, or about to. Probably.
I just find it a bit of... there's no such thing as coincidence, only the illusion of it. And I reckon these poor fabric people have fallen foul of Jeremy Corbyn's ideological worldview.
Well, I don't... Is Jeremy Corbyn responsible for fabric closing down?
Stranger things have happened.
Well, I know, but that's still quite strange.
Well, Corbyn's propped up by a group of red shirts called Momentum, and they've sort of infiltrated the Labour Party, and Momentum themselves are being actively infiltrated by ISIS sympathisers.
Wow, so ISIS are infiltrating... What was the second group called?
Momentum.
And Momentum are infiltrating Labour.
Yeah.
So ISIS are ultimately infiltrating Labour.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're all doomed. We're all
we should
doomed.
start calling the Labour Party Red ISIS.
Red ISIS at night, Shepherd's Delight. Red ISIS in the morning, nuclear warning. That's quite good for me. Well, it's satirical. No, it's implying that we're all going to die, which we might do. You never know. What do you reckon's going to happen in the court case? Is the most important question, Jonathan. Which way is it going to go first off?
It's probably going to go to a retrial.
Yeah, of course it will. Of course it will. They'll drag it out again.
Yeah.
But then I reckon for lols, I reckon Rob will snatch the boy.
I think he'll lose his mind.
Yeah. I think.
But the thing is, you don't want to kill him off. He's such a good character. You can't really kill him off. You want him to suffer an unpleasant fate, but he's just too good.
He is good. I reckon he'll kill his mum.
Oh.
I reckon he will because he's got a really weird, borderline incestuous relationship with his mother, hasn't he?
I'm actually more interested in his father.
Yeah.
He's even creepier than Rob.
His father, at the very least, beat him as a child. At the very least, beat him as a child. I suspect there was even more going on.
Oh, yeah.
Was he like your dad?
Oh, I love this. I love this. I'll throw you a little bone, Ian. If you want to bring me down, you start looking in the direction of Romford Hockey Club and ask for the White Rabbit.
You've literally just made up some words there, haven't you?
No, I'm being cryptic.
I am intrigued. My team of detectorists watching online will be typing that into their Enigma machines. I am intrigued by your lack of relationship with your dad. Partly because I had a messed up relationship with my dad. That's partly why it's so intriguing. But also I find you an intriguing character, Jonathan.
I actually feel a bit sorry for you.
Why is that?
I don't want to upset you, but from what I've read over the years about you, you do seem to be rather put upon on the domestic front.
What does that mean?
Being told off for lying awake in bed with insomnia is a very bad sign.
When has that happened?
You tweeted that 5 years ago.
5 years ago? What did I tweet 5 years ago? Remind me.
You were told off by your wife for lying awake in bed.
Yeah, that was probably the fact that I don't remember the incident. That was probably a joke. I would not go to Twitter to reveal true discrepancies in any form of relationship. So I wouldn't read too much into that. You feel sorry for me for that? For a jokey tweet I did?
It had me worried, actually.
Oh, don't worry about that. I don't remember it. It would have been a joke.
Because there was that.
Yeah.
And then there was the Matt Ford Saved My Life blog post you did. I thought, oh, good grief, what mental health crisis is he going through?
Oh no, but that was hyperbole. It was a headline. It's a good title. It's a good title. No, don't read anything into a blog I wrote about a radio presenter making me laugh, and an obviously jokey tweet about not being able to sleep. Don't worry. Don't read anything. There's plenty more worrying stuff going on in my life than that. But I appreciate
last night.
Thank you. But I appreciate your concern, Jonathan. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. We'll get there. We'll get there one day. I'm confident of it.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Lots to crack on with. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Considering it's a phone-in show about nothing, a lot of people are phoning in and lots of new phone callers, which is great. Mike Love from the Beach Boys, hopefully, will be on in about 35 minutes. And I'm nervous about it because I'm a huge Beach Boys fan. And I'm a huge Mike Love fan. He's written a book, Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy. It's a cracking read. I've read it already. Brilliant. Well worth getting. And I've got a list of 5 songs that I think I could possibly start with. And they're none of your famous ones. And I don't want to create the wrong impression. I want to impress him with my musical nous, but I don't want to piss him off as well, which you might do. And they're all good. They're all good Beach Boy songs that most of you, Honey will know them who just called in, but most of you, won't know. We'll have a little think. Evening, Tris.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip.
What a week you're having, eh?
This is,
Mike Love.
Rock and roll heaven.
Ooh.
Giles Martin one day, Mike Love the next. This is, and the Mike Love thing. And you, of course. But the Mike Love thing, we were getting batting emails back. I've been chasing this for ages, right? And just before the show yesterday, the PR company that are dealing with his book got in touch and said, could you do Mike tomorrow at 4:15 Pacific Standard Time? And I wrote back going, well, that's 12:15 our time, so yeah, but it means it will be live. I'm cool with that if he's cool with that, as opposed to a pre-record. Then they wrote back, literally as the show was going on air, how long do you want him for? I said 30 minutes. And then I didn't hear back from them, and I forgot all about it until today. And just before I left for work, I thought, I should probably just check. And I sent an email saying, where are we with this, please? It's a great sentence. It shows you mean business. Yeah. Where are we with this, please? And they replied saying, yeah, Mike will call you at 12 your time. What's the best number for him to call you on? Flip, I should have given him my mobile. Then just had a private conversation and pretended it was on the radio, but it was just me and him. That's what I should have done. But very exciting. I'm still waiting for it all to go. I'm not playing that one. I'm still. The people are recommending terrible Beach Boys songs to play. I'm still waiting for it to all go pear shaped, and I'm expecting it not to happen. But we'll see. Anyway, Tris, what you got for us, boss?
Couple of quick bits. Have you ever been trapped in a lift?
No, I haven't, and it's one of my fantasies is to be.
I've been trapped in a lift twice now.
What happened?
I was in HMV, and I was with the baby, just me and the baby, and we get in the lift, and we go up maybe, I don't know, 3 feet up, and it gets stuck. I push the alarm. We're there 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh.
Bloke comes along, and he goes, "Oh, it hasn't happened again, has it?"
Brilliant.
He reset it all, got us out, and he goes, "Oh, if you use it now, it should be all right." No, you're all right, mate. I'll leave that if it's all the same.
If you use it again, it should be all right. That's not what I want to hear when I get inside a lift. When you press the alarm, did you speak to someone?
No, it just set off a buzzer for like 10 seconds, and then no one came, so I left it, I don't know, 30 seconds, kept pushing it. I imagine it was just staff discussing what that noise was until they worked it out.
And did you feel naughty? Because one of the big things about growing up as a kid, and what I have to teach my kids is, do not press the alarm in lifts.
No, I felt all right about it, to be honest. I wanted to get out.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But it goes to show, doesn't it, you should be shopping in independent record shops, not in HMV.
Imagine, was it just you and the baby?
Yeah.
Imagine if you were in there for so long with a woman that you had to have sex to keep the human race going.
Right.
Which corner would you dump in? Because you got to think about all of these things. Don't you think about these things when you're in a lift?
Well, I mean, now it's happened to me twice. I might do a bit more, or just try and avoid them. I don't know.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to be stuck in a lift.
For how long, realistically?
3 hours, no more than 3 hours. And I wouldn't like it to drop. You know, I wouldn't like to be on the 16th floor and suddenly you're on the 7th floor. That I wouldn't enjoy. But I would happily be I'd happily be stuck in there for 3 hours with someone who was claustrophobic and was starting to everything's fine. Just breathe. Someone who was doing that. I'd love that. I would love that. That would make me laugh.
And what would be the outcome after 3 hours with someone like that?
We'd have to have sex to keep the human race going. It's the only way. It's selfish not to. It's selfish not to.
The other thing I was going to mention, I heard Catherine on, was it Strange Times podcast?
Oh, Catherine's done a podcast without me.
She has, I listened to
WTF?
Yeah, she's very, very funny on it, actually. Very good. I was very impressed. That sounds very condescending. I didn't mean that condescending.
No, you're right to sound condescending. I'm surprised. She was funny on there.
Yeah, it's not a podcast that I've listened to before, and it was a little bit blokey for me, and I probably won't be going back. But I thought she was really good.
Okay, what is it? Something strange?
Strange Times or something like that.
Strange Times, something like that. With Catherine Boyle being blokey, getting her wanger out and waving it all over the place.
Yeah, they all were.
They were disgusting. All right, Tris, nice one, man. Thank you for that.
All right.
Speak to you later on. Can you tell I'm getting tired all of a sudden? Bruce!
Hip, hip, hip!
Hip, hip, hip!
How you doing, sir?
I'm getting tired, Bruce. I'm getting tired, man. But I'm all right. I'm groovy.
Star jumps.
Sorry?
Star jumps.
Well, that will make me tireder.
They will get the endorphins going and stuff. No,
I don't buy that stuff about the endorphins going. I don't necessarily think that's a real thing.
Yeah, I think it's buzzwords like EBITDA.
EBITDA?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a stupid buzzword.
What is a stupid buzzword?
EBITDA.
EBITDA?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like Poppity Ping?
No, because that's a real word, isn't it?
That's a Welsh word for microwave, yeah, Poppity Ping.
Correct, yeah.
But EBITDA, what is that? Is that a new character in the Star Wars films?
Yes, it's a new Jedi. No, EBITDA, it's something to do with how companies report their results, their financial results. It's an acronym for something. It's
earnings.
Really
someone's telling me on Periscope. Earnings before darkness. I made the last bit up because they didn't give me that. Okay, well, EBITDA. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for them.
Probably like depreciation or something. Anyway.
Yes.
Enough about that. To be honest, as it's a show about nothing, I actually called up with nothing. I just hadn't phoned you for a while, and I just wanted to let you know I'm still here.
When was the last time we spoke? I've no memory of anything that happened before today.
It was yesterday. No, probably about a month ago, actually.
What the hell have you been up to?
Selco.
Oh, really? Why? What? Working and stuff?
It's where the trade go. No, I've locked myself in an industrial-sized toolbox, and no one knew I was there.
Yeah, that would do it. It's that would do it. Those great guys.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to Trade Point from now.
Have you been listening? Have you been listening, or have you kind of have you been doing other stuff? It's not a test. I won't think any less of you. I'm just always curious when people go and then come back.
People think less of me anyway. I've actually been listening to the podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like a podcast. The only problem with the podcast is you just get however long it is of the show. You don't kind of get highlights or lowlights even. You just get a part of the show. So
Catherine, come in here and address this. Catherine is going to address this issue, Bruce.
But there's nothing wrong with the podcast. No. Catherine, please do not say that the wrong way.
No, she's going to come in, speak to Bruce and address the complaint.
Bruce, did you listen to yesterday's that's just gone up today?
No, it hadn't downloaded earlier.
I've changed it. I've changed the way I've done the podcast because we started doing the last hour thinking that a lot of people missed the last hour, and then I thought, well, hang on a minute, some brilliant things happened before, so now I'm doing highlights. So hopefully it will meet with your approval.
There you go. He's not going to be happy with that.
Find a problem with that.
Go on, Bruce. Take her apart.
I've always enjoyed your podcast, Catherine, and if I'm allowed to call you that.
It's my podcast.
I think the only thing that I would kind of say is, sometimes maybe by just doing the last hour, you may not hear some of the highlights in the first couple of hours, but it's more effort for you, and I don't know if I want you doing more work.
It's not
a lot of work already.
I want her doing more work.
Do you know what? I'm ruthlessly efficient, and so it's sorted. I know how to do it.
I mean, technically, during the show, all she's doing is giving Id someone to talk to. That's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. Wow. I know the relationship between you two guys.
Well,
you have no idea.
Well,
am I right, Ed? Am I right, Ed? That's what it's about, yeah.
I think Kath's more than that. She's more than just She's more than just a nice personality.
She's not even those two things. She's literally just to stop Ed talking to me. She's there to listen to Ed's issues, Ed's issues of the day.
Wow, it's all coming out now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like dirty laundry being aired.
Yeah, and it's mine.
How disgraceful. Well, I mean, the thing is, now I know you do other podcasts, I'll try and nab you for one of mine.
All right.
They're not dirty, don't worry. Not like the laundry.
Well, the one I just did was filthy, so it can only be up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Straight up.
I just do mine about Disney theme parks.
Oh, I can. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can do that. I'm very versatile.
like a bird's eye potato waffle.
Waffly versatile.
They go with eggs on, eggs in. You can even grill and fry them.
Beans, bangers, fish fingers.
Beans, bangers, fish fingers. Basically your brown foods. Well, thank you, Bruce.
Pleasure as always, guys.
Thank you very much indeed, Bruce. There we go. What's this podcast you've been on?
Strange Times. Davian. You know Davian.
Well, I didn't know you were doing it. Click my back while you talk. Go on.
Yeah, I was his special guest, special star turn.
Who dropped out?
Don't know. Scylla. Not available anymore.
Well, come on, mate. That's a cheap jibe.
Wow.
That is a cheap... They found... Did you see this?
What, go on?
Boys, as they do, sadly, in these situations, when a parent dies, often we sell off an auction. We sell off stuff that we don't think... They found in her record collection an acetate by Paul McCartney for a song that she did. I can't remember what song it was. It wasn't Step Inside Love. Was it For the Love of... I don't know what it was. And it sold for £18,000. Isn't it amazing that in the year 2016, and with this Beatles film, this new Beatles film that's coming out, some of the footage we saw in it was Ron Howard put out this plea for stuff, and the woman said, I've got I shot some Super 8 footage of them at Candlestick Park, their last ever concert, and I never got it developed. It's under the bed. You can have that. I think it's amazing that in 2016, 50 years later, stuff is still turning up. Mm-hmm. Stuff that you would think that it's all out there by now, but stuff keeps turning up.
Well, I think for a lot of people they were so commonplace, weren't they? I mean, my grandparents had pictures of the Beatles on the wall in the flipping living room.
Isn't that unbelievable?
I know.
Bloody Beatles.
And the kids had Beatles guitars and stuff. They had loads of that stuff. So, you turn it out and think, well, hang on, let's see if this is worth anything.
Speaking of turning it out, it's Rob Bonet.
Oh.
Hey up!
Hey up, Rob.
Rob and A, sponsored by Barry Motors. Driving down prices for you, the customer.
How are we?
Not sponsored like you. I'm very jealous.
That is very flash, Rob. When did you get sponsorship?
Well, you know, I've been putting it out there.
Yeah.
You want to get new viewers, listeners, and stuff like that.
That is brilliant. I'm a little bit envious of that. That's great.
Sold you some sponsorship.
Hey, nice one, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well done, sponsored callers. Oh, if any other callers?
There's an idea.
There is an idea. Well, what are you going to do for us, Barry, Rob Bonet?
Well, my mum's sister, she's made of dough, and she's always angry, Ian and Kath.
That's unfortunate.
She's a cross-ant.
What's a cross-ant? Is that like a croissant?
Rob and A, sponsored by Barry Motors. Driving down prices for you, the customer.
Up yours.
Unbelievable. Oh, no, he's not hung up properly yet, Rob. There he is.
Slick.
That really, that was quite terrifying. Let's go to Richard. Good evening, Richard.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Rob Bonet is fantastic. I love him so much.
Don't tell him that.
Well, he's gone, so he can't hear it, so that won't go to his ego. Excellent. Yes, anyway.
Yeah, how are you? I just rang because I felt a bit sorry for you, to be honest. Not because of a tweet you did like 8 years ago or anything, but just because you just had this string of callers that were talking about the dark web and Red ISIS and stuff, and I hadn't called for a while, so I think I'm still in touch with mental faculty.
I'm going to have a look at that fella's YouTube channel. Some people have already. And
he's very into chemtrails.
Yep.
He's also concerned about the BBC licence fee and why we should stand against it.
That's quite a reasonable argument.
He's also interested in stopping people vaccinating their children.
Ooh.
And
various other hot topics. Let's call them hot topics.
You know who else is into that stuff? Like the exact same thing. Do you remember like a few years ago the Oxford boat race? The guy swam out in front of the boat.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it was good that.
And he was making like this point against elitism, and I thought it was a very good point at the time. So I followed him on Twitter, and over the years he's got more and more sort of insane, really.
He's not the same guy that played Aaron Barshak, the guy that dressed up as a Muslim and gate-crashed a party.
He dressed up as Bin Laden,
Aaron
didn't he?
Barshak, yeah. Is it played by the same guy?
No, it's not a character.
Oh! Aaron Barshak is a character. Is he played by the guy that...
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Wow. See how times have changed. Well, don't feel sorry for me, Richard. I'm all right. I got one of the Beach Boys coming on in 20 minutes.
I know. I don't know much about the Beach Boys, to be honest.
Stay tuned, Richard, because you're going to know all about the Beach Boys in about 20 minutes. All about the Beach Boys. I'm all about the bass, no treble. This is Talk Radio. I'm off for a waz.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Well, you can still call in. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, we'll be speaking to Mike Love of the Beach Boys in about 20 minutes. I'm prepared for it all to have been an elaborate hoax, but you can call in the meantime. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Summer moonlight. saying, kiss me, baby, hold me tight tonight. Some love. I'll give you some love. Some love. I'll give you some love. Some your love.
I love it. Beach Boys in the 80s, guys. Beach Boys in the 80s. A decade. A decade that was cruel to many of what we now call heritage artists. But I love it. I love the Beach Boys in the 80s. I mean, a lot of it was cheesy and naff and trashy and blah, 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 but flipping heck. I love it. I love it. Now, if the runes, you can still call in, by the way, dear listener, 0844 499 1000. If the runes are in our favour, in 16 minutes, Mike Love from the Beach Boys is going to pop up on my screen, and I'm going to talk to him. A little bit nervous. No, that's not true. Very, very nervous about it. Partly because I'm a huge fan and have been since I was, a kid. Partly because I don't think I've seen that many Mike Love interviews, so I don't quite know what we're going to get. I suspect that it will be some stories that hardcore Beach Boys fans have heard many times before. And do you know what? That's absolutely wonderful. He's on to plug his book. He's got a new book, Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy, which comes out next week, I think. And it's a cracking read. I've read it. And it's a brilliant read. It tells a few stories I've heard before. It tells quite a few stories I haven't heard before. But it's just, I don't get why Mike Love has such a bad press. And I think he's done a few things wrong. I think Brian Wilson has done a few things wrong. I think Paul McCartney, I think everybody who's had a career for over 50 years have made bad choices and done rubbish records and, embarrassing public appearances. So I don't, that's not enough for the man to get the vitriol, that he gets. I just think somewhere along the line, and he has a good go at putting his finger on when it happened, in his book, somewhere along the line of Beach Boys history, someone said something bad and untrue about Mike Love, and that made it look like that he was a bad man, and la. So we'll see. He's on for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We'll see. I don't know. I've got no idea. You'll back me up on this, won't you, Ed? Yep. Thank you. What am I making you up on? Exactly. Well done. Cool. See, that's the team. Paying attention and focusing. Hey, now, here's someone I'm not a fan of, right? 0844 499 1000. Not a fan of Bruce Springsteen at all, right? But he's got a book out. I wouldn't mind reading the Bruce Springsteen book. I wouldn't mind having a little look at what he's got in there. And he's written, what they do when a book comes out is, newspapers will find the most salacious bit they can find. So with the Mike Love book, it was talking about Charles Manson. With the Bruce Springsteen book, I can't believe this is the most salacious thing. If it is, it could be a dry read. Rockstar Bruce Springsteen reveals how he suffered from crippling depression for years in a new autobiography. The Boss, 66, tells of his battle with the mental illness in Born to Run, out later this month. He told Vanity Fair, "I was crushed between 60... Is that how he talks? That was kind of a little bit of Dylan. But he is a little bit Dylan, isn't he? He's like 28% Dylan, I think. From New York. I was crushed between 60 and 62. Good for a year, and out again 63 to 64. Not a good record. He also revealed that neck surgery in 2013 silenced his singing voice for 3 months. If that's the most salacious stuff they have got about him from that book, then it may be a dry read, but I still wouldn't mind having a little look at that. Hannah's on the line. Good evening, Hannah.
Hello.
Hello, Hannah.
Didn't you meet Al Jardine from the Beach Boys at an airport?
Yeah.
Or he gave you a frosty reception?
Yeah. I was Al Jardine at an airport. Al Jardine, one of the Beach Boys. And I saw him and I got very excited and I went to say hello, and he was not very pleased to see one of the fans that had put many, many hundreds, if not thousands of pounds in his pocket.
Yeah. Didn't you go to shake his hand or something? And
the shake wasn't going to happen. I said, Mr. Jardine, and he didn't know that I could see his face. He had his back to me, but he lowered his shoulders and he audibly went, turned around and went, yeah. And I was crushed, and I should have just said, do you know what? Up yours, AJ. Up yours. And I didn't. I went, I just wanted to say thank you for all the music. Okay. Thanks anyway. And I went off absolutely crushed.
I was going to say, that must have been very awful.
Yeah. But, maybe he'd had a bad day. It was at an airport, so he was probably tired, and I don't know. He's got the best voice of the surviving Beach Boys. Al Jardine, he sounds like he's 23 years old. It's incredible, his voice. So it's well worth listening to. But yeah.
Well, I hope this interview goes well.
Well, so do I. Oh, look, William Shatner's turned us down already for an interview.
Oh, no.
Mr. Shatner doesn't book general interviews. He only does interviews when he is promoting something, and it is contractually required. Now, that is a do not contact me again. He only does them when he's contractually required to do them. Fair play. Shatner's got to be 82, 83.
Oh, he's bound to be in his 80s, probably.
Yeah. There's another good book, one of the many William Shatner autobiographies. Great book. I think he watched his wife. He didn't watch. I think he was in the swimming pool when his wife drowned. I think I've got that right about Bill Shatner. Really horrific story. Yeah. I've got the story slightly wrong. Someone will correct me, as someone always
I am a Star Trekkie fan. I'm not a Star Wars, but I'm a Star Trekkie.
Well, then in that case, you're a Trekker, aren't you? Is it Trekkie or Trekker?
Trekkie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was. Well, anyway, as long as you're happy. So, are you and Alan Caddick going to do something at this night?
Yeah, well, I think he wants to do like a karaoke thing. But do you think he'll be alright coming down?
No, I think he'll get murdered.
Oh, God.
So let's invite him down and murder him.
You don't think he's going to do a Noel and get asked for 500 quid to get back up?
Well, no, this was someone absolute who came down, Noel Taylor, who used to phone us here for a bit. He got a black cab from Birmingham to London, and it was insane, and he was going to get the train back, but there wasn't a train until 5 o'clock in the morning, and in the end I think I gave him some money to get a B&B or something. I gave him a few quid, I don't know.
Oh, you did? Oh, no.
I had 70 quid on me, and I said, yeah, take that. Oh, you muppet. Anyway, there'll be none of that shenanigans going on, Hannah. None of that shenanigans.
No,
what are you going to sing? Islands in the Stream?
Oh, I have no idea. Something Grease, probably.
Okay, well...
I've actually told him no touching to me.
Well,
no sex acts.
No sex acts, please. We're British. We won't be. I won't be encouraging anybody to have sex on stage at this thing. Let's keep it family friendly. I want kids to be able to come if kids want to come. I want to keep it. I want to keep it decent, please.
Yeah.
That's the only rule. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it decent.
Yeah.
All right, Hannah. Well, thank you for that.
Okay then.
Tatty bye.
Bye.
There we go. Here comes a cup of tea. Who is this? Aurora has said, Talk Radio has literally given me hope in life. It is awesome. #chilled. #radio. It has been quite chilled this week, hasn't it? Which is a shame because someone got stroppy with me because he said the show was 3 hours of shouting. Maybe that has had an impact on me. We just don't know. But yeah, Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen is tiny, isn't he? I mean, he's like 4 foot. He's under 5 foot, as is Al Pacino. Both of them are two of the tiniest men you could ever hope to meet. Hey, there's a brilliant picture in The Sun, page 25. It's some woman, right? And she's doing a handstand. Have you seen this? She's doing a handstand, and she's firing a bow and arrow with her feet, and she's aiming it perfectly. Well, I says she's aiming it perfectly. We can't see, you know, she might have shot a kiddie or something. We don't know. We don't know if it's a bullseye or what. Firing a bow and arrow with your toes. Now that's a truly amazing feat. The thing is, this is such an incredible picture. It doesn't need bad jokes. This acrobatic archer was joined by a Burning Man at the opening of the World Nomad Games in... Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not until we get to the 10th letter that we get a vowel. Kyrgyzstan. 40 Central Asian nations compete in a bizarre traditional sport such as bone throwing. They also play a version of polo that uses a goat carcass. And I'm not going to say the last 4 words. Yes, I will. We kid you not. Sweet Lord. You don't need to do that! I'm going to show the periscopers. I mean, that is... Look at that. Look at that. Hey? Look at that. Look at the aim on that. Hey? Whoa. That is some stunning aim, guys. I'm still thinking in my head what Beach Boys song we're going to kick off with. I tell you what, we'll go to a break and I'll decide then.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, this is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. A quick reminder, we are doing Film Ring next Monday. It's not a film that you all have to watch. Some of you may not want to watch the film, and that is absolutely fine. I still think you'll enjoy the first hour of next Monday's show. The film is Who Took Johnny? It's on Netflix, and I believe it's on Vimeo as well. You can sign up for Netflix for a month for free. You just cancel it before the end of the month. You get a month for free. I think you can still do that. We've got the filmmakers coming on next Monday to talk about it. I'm not sure which ones exactly. It's an incredible documentary. It's a true story. I tell you now, man, it is grim. It is grim. And victims of sexual abuse, or people who may find, I mean, it's not graphic details, but there are some descriptions in there. People who may find that completely unpalatable. You don't have to watch the film. I've had so many people tweeting me though, saying that they're glad they watched it. They found it hard work, and it's certainly gonna stay with them. But they're glad they watched it. It's a really interesting story, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. Really, but the basic premise is it's a mum and her boy goes missing. Her boy disappears in about 1982, and I think he's 14 or 15 years old, and it's kind of her story. She's convinced he's been kidnapped, absolutely convinced she's been kidnapped, and it's kind of her story as she comes to terms with what may or may not have happened to him, and various other characters kind of pop up in the film, and boy oh boy, ain't there a few twists and turns in it. I mean, really, just when you think you've got a handle on what is going on, and you think you've got a grip on the story, it goes all over the shop. So watch that this week if you can, and we are going to talk about it next Monday at about 10 o'clock. Okay, probably for the first hour or so of the show. But even if you don't watch it, I have a feeling that you'll enjoy the conversation anyway. Because I haven't spoken to the filmmakers, but they know how to tell a story in film form, so I suspect they're going to be pretty good talkers. And just some of the places that this film goes to, it's kind of incredible. It's a real eye-opener, and it ties in with stuff that's been happening in the news over here as well in the past sort of year or so. So that's the film, Who Took Johnny? And just a reminder that we are going to probably at the end of October, I need to sort the date out. We're going to do a live event. Me and Kath are going to host a live event at the same venue that we did Film Ring. And it's going to be, I don't want to say, I'm going to come up with something. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a show. It's not a talent show because that implies some form of competition. It's going to be a show, and you are going to be the acts, dear listener. And it can be anything. You know, the weirder the better. Really, the weirder the better. You know, and we've got some stand-ups that want to do it. That's great. And we've got some couple of singers and stuff. That's great. But if you are, you know, I love a bit of contortionism. I love watching people squeeze themselves in a tiny box. Steady! But if you're a contortionist, or you're a juggler, or you're a dancer, or you're a magician, or you are, you've made short films, anything like that, then, okay, they've just emailed. They're a little bit behind, but they're going to call in. Apologies, we're running a few minutes behind. We'll dial in very shortly. Thanks for your patience. Patience is my middle name. American PR woman. Actually properly nervous now. Actually properly nervous. But yeah, if you want to take part, there's no audition. There's no, I don't need to see a link of it, you know, YouTube it or anything like that. If you want to take part, email me, Iain, Iain, at Iain at iainlee.com, Iain at iainlee.com, with what you want to do. And, when I book a date, I'll get back, and hopefully the date will be fine for you, and we'll charge like £8 or something for 8 or 9 quid for people to come in, and, we'll put on a show. And it will be a safe environment. And it doesn't matter if you've never done it before. Maybe you've always thought, well, do you know, I fancy having a go at stand-up. Well, this would be a perfect place to come and do it, because it's going to be a safe, everyone's going to be on your side. Just like they were on, in Film Ring when we did that. Everyone is going to be on, your side, and will want you to win. So, you know, and there is no competition, there is no prize at the end, there is no, the running order will simply be decided on me, you know, making sure that we don't have two singers next to each other. You know, that will be it. It's not going to be able to put the worst one first and the best at the end. It will just happen. Anyway, if you want to take part in that, you need to send me an email with just a brief description of what it is you want to do. Iain, Iain, at iainlee.com. Just hanging out with our mates, says Catherine. I wouldn't call them our mates, because I think that gives the wrong idea as to our relationship with the listener. I tell you what we're going to do, because I'm totally bricking it here about this. I'm going to play a Beach Boys song, and we will hope that the spirits are shining on us, that, you know, the angels are on our side, and at the end of this Beach Boys song, which is one of the most stunning Beach Boys songs you've never heard before, we might have Mike Love of the Beach Boys on the line. He wrote this. This is a brilliant song. This is from the album Holland, and I'm hoping he's quite happy to talk about Holland, because Holland is one of the most nuts periods in Beach Boys history, where they went, let's go to Holland and make an album. But they had to ship all of the machinery over there, and it cost them like $1 million to do it. And they didn't quite get the hit. It was a brilliant album, but it wasn't quite the hit album that they were hoping for. But there's a song on there written by Wilson and Love, as most of the best Beach Boys songs are, except this ain't no Brian Wilson and Mike Love. This is Dennis Wilson and Mike Love. And boy, oh boy, this is a stunner. Let's have some of this. Here it comes.
Love so many things, what I feel. I've only felt with you, only with you. And then there are the things that we do that I've only done with you, only with you. Before love had always had there's ups and downs, until the love I finally found. I know one thing for sure I wanna do. I wanna spend this life with you, only with you. Yes, it's true. All I wanna do, is spend my life with you. All I wanna do, is spend my life with you. Yes, it's true. I wanna spend my life with you. All I wanna do is spend my life with you. All I wanna do, spend my life with you. The Sunday morning gospel goes good with the soul. There's blues, folk and country and rock like a rolling stone. The world could come together as one if everybody under the sun adds some music to the day. You'll hear it while you're walking by a neighbor's home. You'll hear it faintly in the distance when you're on the phone. You're sitting in a dentist's chair, and they got music for you there to add some music to your day. Add some music, music everywhere. Add some music. Add some, add some, add some, add some music. Your doctor knows it keeps you calm. Your preacher adds it to his songs. So add some music to your day. When you're alone, is like a companion for your lonely soul. Oh, 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 oh. When day tired eye is in my soul. At a movie, you can feel it touching your heart. Dum dum. And on every day of the summertime, you'll hear children chasing ice cream cars. They'll play it on your wedding day. There must be about 1,000,000 ways to add some music to your day. Add some music to your day. Add some music to your day. Add some music.
Well, I never thought I would have the opportunity to speak to not only one of those voices, but one of the people that wrote that song. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Los Angeles, California, it's Mr. Mike Love. Good evening or good afternoon, Mike.
Well, good evening. I mean, it definitely is evening your time.
What time is it in LA? It's about 4:30 in the afternoon there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. But I have a slight correction. I'm in the San Diego, California area at the moment.
Oh, then you can't be the real Mike Love. We know that you only.
Yeah, well, Mike Love gets around.
Hey, Mike, listen, man, it's such a thrill to talk to you. I have been a Beach Boys fan my whole life. I've seen you guys in various incarnations throughout the decades. I've read the book, Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You will have missed it. The first song we played when we were waiting for you was Only With You from the Holland album. I think it's one of the great Beach Boys records. It's just stunning. How did that come about?
It's a sweet song, yes. It's just one of those sweet songs, like similar to All I Want to Do.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's another beautiful, sweet, sentimental song, you know. Because, you know, some of the songs we've done, as you know, are a little bit more dynamic, such as Surfing USA and I Get Around and Fun, Fun, Fun.
Yeah.
But for that matter, Heroes and Villains. But yeah, some of those softer, sweeter ballads are with those beautiful harmonies. They're wonderful.
The blend of the voices, and I really think it's because you are a family, or you were a family. It's you and your cousins, and they are brothers. The blend of voices on those soft songs. I mean, the a cappella version of Add Some Music there. It's just there's something so pure about that sound. You must have known early on you had something magical there.
Well, yeah, and you know what? The first family group that inspired us was the Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, their beautiful blend. Of course, it was only 2-part harmony, and we took it to 4 as a result of, you know, our love for the choral harmonies and the 4 Freshmen and the church music and doo-wop music. It was all an influence. But our obsession's always been to try to blend. It's when you can sing a note, and various people can sing notes, but sometimes the voices don't blend. But that's always been our obsession, if you will, is to merge the individuality into the group sound, and that gives you the opportunity to actually blend and harmonize so beautifully.
Mike, I saw you at the Royal Albert Hall when you played here. Was it last year? I get confused. It all goes so quickly. And with respect, sir, you are in your 70s, and your voice is sounding better than it sounded for a long, long time. And it was a full-on 2.5-hour show with you at the front for the whole thing. How do you still manage to do it and sound so good?
Well, I think the thing is, one thing I learned the hard way, that you can't go out and party and destroy your voice and drink too much and smoke and just live an insane lifestyle and be a great vocal group. You just don't. It just doesn't work that way. So we learned very early on, if we're going to maintain the quality of our vocals and the harmonies, we have to live a sensible lifestyle, which was just fine with me ever since I learned meditation from Maharishi, transcendental meditation. that's been a real big lifesaver, and that also gives you more energy because you're absolutely able to drop your metabolism to a level of rest twice as deep as deep sleep. So it's profoundly restful. So that gives you some energy and clarity, and so that all goes together along with a sensible lifestyle. That gives you the energy and clarity and longevity.
I have to thank you, Mike, because I learned TM when I was about 17 because of you lot. Because you lot, you know, were you know, so you did some brilliant songs about it as well. But it kind of got me interested, and I went and learned it, and it's great. You know, 35 years later on, I still use it. Not 35, 25. God, I'm not that old. But I still use it, and it's great. It's great for you know, for getting rid of the stress and just having 20 minutes, you know, to yourself and focusing a bit. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome, and that's wonderful to hear. And I wish more people would try it. I think it'd be a better world.
What was it like for you, Mike? I'm always interested when bands have had their huge success, and they quite often go into a fallow period. Now, a lot of bands break up. But you guys stuck together and made, you know, in my opinion, some of the most interesting work. You know, the Friends 2020, Wild Honey, the Sunflower album. What was it like when things changed a little bit and you weren't as huge? You know, you talk in your book about you struggled sometimes to fill halls, you know, small halls in the late 60s as the Beach Boys. What was that like for you guys?
Well, you know, every decade, every generation has their musical heroes, and so some people, as you say, break up. Some people go away. Some people drop out. Some people die.
Yeah.
And so there are all different kinds of reasons for not, you know, for levels of success changing. In our case, we came to the end of our record contract with Capitol Records. And we were in somewhat disarray. I mean, Brian had been doing some things he should not have been doing, and so had Carl and Dennis, and we were, you know, there was a divisiveness in the group based on lifestyle choices. But there are several of us that maintained a bit more of a sensible lifestyle choice, I would put it, and carried on. And so I think that's normal for people to have ups and downs in their careers. I think it's quite normal. But the beautiful thing about the Beach Boys is we have such a body of music. We have so many incredible hits that 55 years after we started, we can step out on stage and people love what we do, whether it be the surfing songs, the car songs, California Girls, Barbara Ann, Good Vibrations, Kokomo, you name it. People love it, and we do too.
And they do. And I'm 43. I've got two little boys who are 6 and 4, and they love it as well. You know, they love those songs. Those songs are timeless. You know, we had Dean Torrance on last week from Jan and Dean, a good friend of yours, of course. And we were talking about this. You know, pop from the 60s wasn't meant to last as long as it has lasted. It was disposable. It was throwaway. But you're right. The body of work that the Beach Boys has is incredible.
Yeah. And the thing is, those songs from the 60s, what a time period. Not only did you have the Beatles, not only did you have the Beach Boys, not only did you have the Rolling Stones and many others, but you had Motown as well, and all the great R&B stuff that was going on. I mean, what a tremendous time for music in the 60s. And so those songs, they're so iconic and so great that they stand this test of time, and every generation will enjoy them. Maybe they'll be, you know, all into Taylor Swift or you know, it could have been Amy Winehouse or Adele or any number of people who are great singers and great artists.
Sorry, Mike. Did you enjoy the competition?
Pardon me?
Did you enjoy the competition with the Beatles and with the Stones and with I always get, when I see clips of you guys from, you know, performing on TV from the 60s, you're obviously having a fantastic time. Who wouldn't? You're in the flipping Beach Boys, for God's sakes. But did you enjoy the rivalry, particularly between you and the Beatles?
Actually, it was great because it was a mutual admiration society. I'm not kidding. I mean, I was in India when Paul McCartney came down to the breakfast table at Mauritius Place playing back in the USSR and his acoustic guitar. I was the first one, maybe other than Jane Asher, to hear that song.
Wow.
Because she was over there as well. You know, the Beatles brought their wives and girlfriends there, and I was on my came solo because my wife was pregnant with our second child. Anyway, so I mean, it was a mutual admiration society. I mean, how could you not be thrilled by listening to Sgt. Pepper's?
Yeah.
As well as they appreciated Pet Sounds album tremendously. So. It was not negative in the least, but there was competition. There's no doubt about that. But competition makes you better. If you have somebody who's really good, it makes you try to do the absolute best you can, and that's how it was.
Can I ask you, Mike, what are your memories of Sunflower? For me, that's my favourite Beach Boys album, and I think it was quite a big hit over here in the UK. Not as big as some of the earlier records, but I just wondered what your memories were of making that. Whether was it a peaceful recording, or was there stress involved? What was going on?
What song could you mention in particular that might?
Oh, okay. Well, Forever is the one that springs to mind. The Dennis song.
Yeah, well, that was a great song by Dennis. It was a beautiful song. It was done by John Stamos and Full House when Uncle Jesse got married. He chose to re-record the lead on Forever, and we did the backgrounds for him. In fact, whenever John comes out and plays with us, which he does on occasion, he likes to do Forever, and we back him up on it. But yeah, I think that was probably my cousin Dennis's my favorite song of his.
And a great song.
He wrote several.
Oh, he was great. A great song of yours on there as well. Sorry, Mike, there's a slight delay. A great song of yours on there, All I Want to Do. I mean, that your vocal on that is it's kind of really laid back, man, and in the groove, and it's a great sound.
It really is. It's a beautiful, sentimental song. It's just so sweet, you know. And I get a lot of requests from people to do that song. And they, true fans, people are really into the Beach Boys. They love that song. They ask me all the time to do it.
I saw a great picture on your Facebook page a couple of weeks ago. You got reunited with a saxophone that you'd lost about 50 years ago. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
It's the best story.
From Australia, and it was amazing. And these people the saxophone was left behind, and somebody just put it in the basement. And the fellow passed away, and then his relatives were going through it, and this was left somewhere in Ohio. And yes, I was reunited with it about a month ago. It was pretty amazing. Still had the sticker from Australia on it. The case.
It's a brilliant picture. The book, Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy. I'm really surprised by the honesty in it, because quite often showbiz autobiographies, they kind of go, well, we did this, and then we did this, and it kind of glosses over stuff. But you address... Well, you talk about, when you used to smoke dope and you used to drink a bit and you felt a little bit lost. But you do address a lot of the issues that I was perhaps expecting. You speak very openly about relationships, with wives and with the other members of the Beach Boys. Was it hard to be so open? And did did people around you say, well, maybe you don't want to say that? Or what's the process, Mike?
No, it's not hard for me to discuss really what happened. If it's true and it happened, then I have no problem with it. What was difficult, though, and I did an audio recording of the book.
Wow.
I sat for 3.5 days in my studio in Lake Tahoe and read the book. So I have an audio recording of it available.
Brilliant.
So what was hard there was talking about my cousin Carl Wilson's last show and him being in a wheelchair and looking around at the names on the dressing rooms and that kind of thing, and knowing that it was going to be his last show, or the death of a loved one, my sister dying of cancer, or my grandparents or my parents. I mean, that's hard to talk about, but it's part of life. We all lose people, we always lose loved ones. And my cousin, you know, in addition to my cousin Carl, my cousin Dennis, I mean, we had our definite falling outs over things. But on the other hand, we grew up together, and he's the one that called me to say, come to Paris. We were in London. He said, come back to Paris. Maurice is going to teach us to meditate. And so, you know, even when he was, you know, inebriated, he would say, let's meditate, Mike. So there was a bond that transcended, literally, the ups and downs and the ins and outs and the not so fun parts.
And music seems to be the thing. I mean, you co-wrote a song, Pacific Ocean Blue, for Dennis's solo album, Pacific Ocean Blue. What was that? Was that him just phoning you up saying, Mike, I've got a song, can you help?
No, that's because he and I both had this similar outlook on the environment and what's been done to the oceans, what's been done to land. You know, what's been done in so many places in the world where it's so screwed up, environmentally speaking. So, and today we do a song called "Summer in Paradise" on stage with a video of. It's a beautiful song about expressing our concern about the environment. So Dennis and I shared in that feeling, as Bruce and I do, and we're advisory board members of the Surfrider Foundation, which exists to help keep things pristine at the beach.
Can I just ask you, do you read the whole book for the audio version? Have you read the whole book?
Absolutely.
I tell you why, because good. I'm going to get that as well then, because there are two of my favourite stories, very brief. One is Carl Wilson sharing an aeroplane with Mr. T and telling him to shut the F up, which I just think is brilliant. And also I think it's the beginning of chapter 2. You teaching Dennis Wilson about cunnilingus.
Oh boy. Like I said, didn't want to shy away from the truth. Maybe that's too much information.
I read that and I thought, wow, this is where this book is going. This is going to be a great thing.
He was rather fascinated by it, I'll tell you.
Well, you inadvertently, Mike, made a lot of women very happy by passing on that information.
Oh, jeez.
So good for you.
I'm always trying to be helpful.
Mike, you've recorded. Now, I know, because I'm a proper Beach Boys geek, I know you released one solo album, Looking Back with Love. You've also recorded, I think, 2 or 3 other solo albums, and they're doing the rounds as bootlegs. I'm sure you're aware of that. There are dodgy versions of them floating around. Why did they never come out officially? And have you got any plans to release them at any point?
First of all, I've always focused on the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I'm the one person in the group who's always been there for the last 55 years. Second of all, the changes in the recording industry are so dramatic. You know, it used to be you'd have physical product, albums, LPs, 45s, and, you know, nowadays so much downloading and you know, and that kind of thing. So, but that hasn't stopped me from creating songs, as you point out, and I am trying to update some of them so they'll have decent versions to come out with in the near future. I'm thinking the way things are going, I'm hoping that the new year will bring a Mike Love solo effort.
Brilliant. I hope so. I genuinely think that you are one of the most underrated rock lyricists of all time, because you know the lyrics that you wrote for California Girl, all those wonderful songs. It's poetry, man. It's, you know, you made California real to the rest of the world, and you kind of gave teenagers, you know, a voice in a lot of your lyrics, and I just want to thank you for all of those songs that you've written, Mike.
Well, thank you very much. Well, there was a reason where I wasn't, you know, because I wasn't credited on the original issues of those recordings. It gave an inaccurate view of who actually came up with those songs. And unfortunately, I had to go to court to establish that authorship. In fact, even Brian wanted to rectify it without doing all that, but was unable to. But now the truth in my story is now in print, and it's for people read and enjoy and
it really is a great
from
book.
my perspective what my part of the
What you did with those songs is poetry.
contribution is.
What you did with those songs is poetry. That bass voice that you do is just wonderful. Can I ask, and this is a slightly awkward question, I don't mean it to be, but, and you address this in the book, which is why I'm confident asking it. There seems to be a strand of people that are very angry towards you and blame you for all kinds of stuff, for Smile and all, blah, 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 blah. How does it feel knowing that some people consider you to be, and here's a lazy term, consider you to be the villain of the Beach Boys?
Well, like for instance, the Smile thing specifically had nothing to do with shelving that album.
Yeah.
Brian had a bad experience with LSD, and he decided he didn't want to finish it. That was his decision. I recorded on those Smile sessions along with the other guys and did all kinds of strange things and wonderful things. But that was an absolute mischaracterization, absolute falsehood that I had anything to do with it. So, I mean, there are people who are acting or thinking on the basis of false information. So all I can do is give the facts as I live them, and that's going to have to do. Because if somebody's going to be building their opinions based on falsehoods, then I can't, I don't know what to say about that. All I know is I know what I did, I know what I contributed to, and I know what I didn't do. Like, for instance, one of the things I addressed in the book pretty succinctly is, and I addressed that in the book. Matter of fact, I named the album Pet Sounds, and I went with Brian to play it for Capitol Records. It is they who didn't know what to do with the album, and it wasn't as successful commercially initially as it should have been or could have been had Capitol known what to do with it. Or had we had more sophisticated management. One of the things I say and admit to readily in the book is the Beatles ran circles around us in terms of their PR and their marketing and all that kind of stuff. And we were just, we've always been into making our music and doing our tours, but I don't think we were as savvy back in the day as others have been with their careers.
Mike, listen, we've got 30 seconds left. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. Earlier on in the show, we had a young lady phone up, a young lady called Honey, who could not believe that Mike Love was going to be on my show. I hope you don't mind, Mike. Honey's on the other line. Honey, you've got 30 seconds. What do you want to say to Mike Love?
Oh my God. Hi, Mike. I want to say that the Beach Boys are like the best band ever to me. And I think you're like one of the most important members of the Beach Boys. And it's like an injustice that so many people like hate on you for no reason and stuff. And I just love you. Thanks.
There you go, Mike. That's not a bad way to end, is it?
Speaking of Honey, there is that album and that song that I wrote the words to, Wild Honey.
Yeah. That was Steady On. I know what that's about. Steady On.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Honey, thank you very much. I'm glad we got you through. Mike, listen, it's honestly, I'm grinning like my 15-year-old me is very, very happy. Final question. Any chance of any Beach Boys, live DVDs or box sets or anything like that coming out in the near future?
Well, I think there are things that exist from the 50th tour that are out and about.
No retrospective stuff.
Yeah, more retrospective, I believe.
Mike, listen, may God bless you for all of the work that you've done. Honestly, you've enriched my life. You've enriched the lives of my boys and millions of other people. The book is Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy. It's out next week. It is an absolutely cracking read. Thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. Great talking with you. It really is.
Thank you, Mike. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Love. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. What a gentleman. Let's just sit for the last 55 seconds of the show and enjoy that vibe, shall we? Shall we? I've literally got nothing else to say on the matter. I've got a dry mouth. I have nothing else to say. So I'm not going to say anything. Just going to sit and enjoy that very special moment. Thank you, Catherine, for your help sorting that out. I sent her a frantic text saying, "You've got an email. You've got to sort this out quick. Otherwise we're going to lose him." Oh, man alive. Let me just enjoy that moment. Yeah. Yeah. That was wicked.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A radio star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio.